Have you ever been judged just for the way you look? Imagine being kicked out of an airport. Not for breaking rules, but simply for being too beautiful. Sounds unreal? Well, it happened. And what came next shocked everyone. Stay with us until the end. You won't believe how this story unfolds. And tell us in the comments, has your appearance ever worked against you? They say being beautiful opens doors. For Helena Chen, it closed gates. Boarding gates, to be specific. Beauty had always been both Helena's gift and her curse. At 29, she possessed the kind of natural elegance that turned heads wherever she went. Not from excessive makeup or revealing clothes, just the genetic lottery that had blessed her, with perfect features and a presence that commanded attention whether she wanted it or not. On that fateful Tuesday afternoon, Helena arrived at Metropolitan International Airport dressed in a perfectly appropriate business outfit, tailored black pants, a crisp white blouse, and a navy blazer. Professional, understated, elegant, she was heading to San Francisco for an important meeting the next morning, her mind occupied with presentation notes and client expectations. The first signs of trouble came at security. "Is this really you?" asked the TSA agent, looking back and forth between her ID photo and her face. Helena nodded with a practiced patience. "You're even prettier in person," he added, staring a bit too long before finally waving her through. As she collected her belongings on the other side of the scanner, whispers reached her ears. "Look at her. There's no way that's natural," one woman murmured. "And that outfit? On a plane? She's clearly looking for attention," her companion replied with a scoff. Helena pretended not to hear. She'd developed a thick skin over the years, but each comment still stung in its own small way. She headed toward her gate, professional mask firmly in place, when a businessman fell into step beside her. "First time in San Francisco?" he asked with practiced charm. "I know all the best spots. I could show you around." "I'm there for work," Helena replied politely but firmly. "Excuse me." She quickened her pace, but not before noticing a security guard watching her with unusual intensity. The guard spoke into his radio, and Helena felt the familiar knot of anxiety forming in her stomach as she approached Gate 32B. At the gate, Helena sat quietly, reviewing work documents on her tablet. She'd deliberately chosen a seat away from others, but still felt the stares boring into her. It wasn't long before a gate agent approached, flanked by two security guards. "Excuse me, ma'am. Could you come with me for a moment?" the agent asked with forced professionalism. Confused but compliant, Helena followed them to a more private area near the desk. "Is there a problem with my boarding pass?" she asked. The gate agent avoided eye contact. "We've received several complaints from other passengers." "Complaints? About what?" Helena asked, genuinely perplexed. One of the security guards stepped forward. "Ma'am, your presence is making other passengers uncomfortable." Helena was incredulous. "My presence? I've been sitting quietly working. I haven't spoken to anyone." "Some passengers have expressed concerns about the appropriateness of your attire for this a flight," the gate agent explained awkwardly. Helena looked down at her completely professional outfit in disbelief. "This is a business suit. There's nothing inappropriate about it." "Please lower your voice, ma'am," the second security guard warned. Helena fought to remain calm. "This is absurd. I have a ticket. I have a meeting in San Francisco tomorrow morning. I need to be on this flight." She pulled out her ID and boarding pass again, as if they might somehow validate her right to exist in this space. "I'm afraid we'll have to ask you to leave the terminal and rebook for another flight," the gate agent insisted. "On what grounds? What airline policy am I violating?" Helena demanded. "Ma'am, we have the right to refuse service to anyone disrupting the peace or comfort of other passengers," the first security guard stated firmly. Helena's anger flared. Disrupting? By existing? By sitting quietly? A small crowd had gathered watching the exchange. Some were filming with their phones. Sensing drama, the gate agent lowered her voice. "We've had complaints from female passengers who said you were distracting their husbands, and from male passengers who felt you were seeking attention. That's not my problem." Helena exclaimed. "That's their problem." The security guard took hold of her arm. "Ma'am, we're going to escort you out now." Helena tried to pull away. "Don't touch me. This is discrimination." "I'm not leaving." The security guards firmly took her by both arms. Her tablet fell to the ground with a clatter. People were openly filming now as the security guards escorted a struggling Helena through the terminal, her face burning with humiliation and rage. "This is insane," she shouted. "I've done nothing wrong." Outside the airport, rain fell in steady drops as Helena sat on a concrete barrier near the taxi stand. She was soaked, her carefully styled hair now plastered to her face, makeup running in dark streaks down her cheeks. She stared straight ahead, shell-shocked by what had just happened. In that moment of vulnerability, memories flooded back all the times. Her appearance had been both weapon and shield against her. The job interview where she was told she'd be perfect for the front desk position, instead of the management role she was qualified for. The work presentation where her ideas were dismissed, only to be told afterwards she brightened up the room just by being there. Her best friend Sophie saying she couldn't handle being Helena's sidekick anymore. The date who admitted he almost didn't ask her out because girls who look like you are usually high maintenance or not very bright. As Helena sat there, mascara smearing across her cheek, she didn't notice the teenage girl nearby discreetly filming her with a phone. Within hours, that footage would transform her private humiliation into a public spectacle. A TikTok video titled, "Was this woman kicked out of the airport for being too pretty?" exploded online, jumping from 1,000 views to 100,000 to 1 million in a matter of hours. The comment section became a battlefield of opinions. "This is what's wrong with America today. Since when is beauty a crime? She must have done something else. Airlines don't just kick people off for being attractive. As a flight attendant, I've seen this happen. It's usually jealous wives complaining. Maybe dress more modestly. Just saying, this is straight-up gender discrimination. Wish I had her problems, lol." News outlets picked up the story, with anchors debating whether Helena had been discriminated against or whether there was more to the story. The airline issued a statement, claiming she was removed for disruptive behavior, but eyewitness accounts contradicted this claim. Helena's phone became an endless stream of notifications and calls from unknown numbers. Journalists, talk show producers, and media personalities all wanted to hear her side of the story. At first, she ignored them, overwhelmed by the sudden attention. But then she realized, for the first time, people weren't just looking at her, they were ready to listen. Days later, Helena sat in a makeup chair as a stylist touched up her face. She was about to go on a major morning show, not as an object of beauty, but as a woman with something important to say. Her phone buzzed with a text from her mother. "Just be yourself, honey. The world needs to hear your story." Helena took a deep breath as a producer appeared. "We're ready for you, Ms. Chen. 5 minutes. Over the following weeks, Helena appeared on various talk shows while her story sparked discussions on feminist podcasts and among social media influencers. Some defended her, others questioned her account, but everyone was talking about the deeper issues her experience had exposed. "What happened to Helena Chen isn't just about beauty," said one feminist commentator. "It's about how we police women's bodies and existence in public spaces. Let's be honest, there's probably more to this story," argued a male commentator. "The airline wouldn't remove someone just for being attractive. I've experienced similar things," shared a female influencer. "Not to this extent, but the same principle. Being punished for how you look rather than what you do." Finally, Helena appeared on a serious, respected news program. The host, known for tough but fair interviews, asked her, "What do you hope comes from sharing your story?" Helena looked directly into the camera, composed and determined. For years, she'd adapted, worn baggier clothes, pulled her hair back, avoided makeup, tried to fade into the background. But no matter what she did, she was either trying too hard or not living up to her potential. "Being beautiful was never a choice," she said. Being judged for it wasn't either. The difference is now I choose not to stay silent. She explained that what happened at the airport happens to women every day, in different ways. Too pretty or not pretty enough, too assertive or not assertive enough, too emotional or too cold. I'm not here to complain about being beautiful, she clarified. I know that sounds privileged, but I am here to say that no one should be punished for their appearance when they've done nothing wrong. The airline had apologized and offered compensation, but for Helena, this wasn't about money or free flights. It was about changing how we see each other, quite literally, looking past appearances to see the human being underneath. I've received thousands of messages from women sharing similar stories, she revealed. Stories of being overlooked, underestimated, objectified, or penalized, all based on appearance. This has to stop. Beauty shouldn't be a burden, and it certainly shouldn't be grounds for discrimination. Some weeks later, Helena walked confidently through a different airport terminal. People still looked at her. That would never change, but something in their gazes had shifted. There was more respect now. A few people nodded in recognition. A young woman smiled supportively. As she reached her gate, a flight attendant approached with a genuine smile. "San Francisco?" she asked warmly. "Yes," Helena replied, smiling back. "We've upgraded you to first class." "Miss Chen," the attendant said, handing her a boarding pass. "Thank you for helping start an important conversation." As Helena boarded the plane, she became just one of many travelers, each with their own story. She didn't want the world to stop looking at her. She just wanted it to start listening. Because we're all more than what we appear to be. All we need is the chance to show it. So that was the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video and comment on what you would do in the girl's place. Until the next video.